Man, people don't understand how many stories I heard when people get back from the bar. You gotta understand, they listen to all these sad songs in the bar. You gotta understand, there's frequencies, and a lot of this music out nowadays is demonic and witchcraft. And you gotta understand, like when you listen to rock and roll and stuff, they literally summon demons through these songs. And then before you know it, you gotta understand they summoning demons in these churches, man. That's why the Vatican ruled to stop doing exorcism because they was doing more damage than good. Notice how in the movies these exorcism cases got worse and worse, worse and worse. They was speaking Latin and all that. I mean, you gotta understand, like, does that make sense? The Messiah, he spoke Hebrew, not Latin. So I mean, if you can't connect the dots and see what's to be seen, the Most High, he was warning people of alcohol, you know. So yeah, it's just saying the ones that the Most High give in fame, they're gonna try to call them crazy. You know what I mean? The ones that the Most High is giving sanity, they're gonna try to call us insane. Simple as that. You gotta look at the facts and how history repeats itself, but this time around, in the last days, you gotta understand why it's called the last days in the first place. It's eventually you're gonna see things go extinct and never come back. You understand me? When the Messiah comes back one last time, then it might sink in for y'all. Oh yeah, he already came here and done left. He got that ride back home. Where's home? Heaven. People gotta understand, like, this is gonna turn so real for people. It's gonna become so real for people. This reality is gonna sink in. When the last bird, just like the Native Americans were warning people, when the last tree is standing, when the last, you know what I mean? It is gonna come down to that. We've seen companies go out of business and never reopen. Eventually, it's gonna sink in for people, just like it. When the Native Americans were being slaughtered, when the last Native American, you gotta understand, unless we don't get it right on this side, like it's just not gonna be. No, it's just people gotta calm down and just know how to stop following the crowds out here, following the masses out here. People out here, what you think is right is actually wrong. It's like SpongeBob and it's opposite day. Because you find out these churches out here claim to worship God, but a lot of these churches out here worshiping the devil. They quick to they so quick to pass that bowl around and get offerings and money, every Sunday, and then live off of it through the week. I've seen churches out here get cashed out by one family, $350. Dude almost gave all his money to the pastor. You gotta understand how they are actually running it out here, man. They giving these money to these Sunday pastors like they the Messiah. Like, oh, they a tenth of all I know this Mexican family wasn't making $3,000 a week. But what if it was? What if that Mexican family that I seen cash out this pastor? What if that's what it was? He had six six working individuals in his household. So let's say the income goes up for that household, right? And they all put their money together towards their faith, towards their rent, and then they went about their business. They went about their life, right? But they praying to the devil Baal. You know, the letter J was inserted in the 1500s. Our elders, they ain't out there for no reason. Yeah, I know, hey, I know when the Most High bless me, I'm about to give back tenfold, man. Cause all we got to give right now is this time. Got Biden out here saying, look, this kid done committed suicide. What about March 14th? Week after my stepbrother had an accidental overdose. You understand? Like, they pushing drugs out in front of people that is laced with fentanyl. And it's getting worse and worse. This is a transgender kid. You understand the other kids are saying, you know, you can't do that. And they get to the point where, hey, you know, they're not giving the kids, you know, you can't put this in the adults are failing these kids and these teens out here. I've seen so many gay books for kids and teenagers pushed out in front of them. You gotta understand, they look up to us adults as we know the right way. And when you see all these adults out here doing what they doing, look at this. President Joe Biden issued a statement on the death of of transgender Oklahoma teen Nick Benedict, whose February 8th death, a day after a fight of Wawasell High School, was ruled a suicide Wednesday. Jill and I are heartbroken by the recent loss of Nick Benedict. Biden said in a statement Thursday, every young person deserves to have the fundamental right and freedom to be who they are and feel safe and supported at school and in their communities. So you gotta understand, man. We ain't gonna support. We're gonna warn people of what's to come when these kids and these adults want to choose that lifestyle. So the best way, really, I could say to show these kids a little bit of the future is look at all these transgenders that went up and shot up these schools. Okay, all these and these churches. Look at all these transgenders that done committed suicide. Y'all need to stop hiding the real news from these kids, and then telling them, "Oh, we support you. Oh, y'all afraid to hurt their feelings, man." Tell them to man up, and that's wrong. Cause they possessed by the devil out here, and y'all so blind to see it. But then y'all know that same activity is looked down upon. That ain't making this country great. Every young person deserves to have the fundamental right and freedom to be who they are and to feel safe and supported at school and in their communities. Nick Benedict, a kid who just wanted to be accepted, should still be here with us today. You gotta understand, some of these kids, they know that that's wrong, man. You know? In memory of Nick, Biden said we all must recommit to our work to end discrimination and address the suicide crisis impacting too many non-binary and transgender children. No, y'all. Hey, y'all quick. A lot of people quick to become non-binary and transgender, and a lot of these kids, man, they having this push upon them, and then they taking the bait. There was kids growing up, man. You know that's wrong, man. You know that's wrong. Bullying is hurtful and cruel, and no one should face the bullying that Next did. Biden said parents and school must take reports of bullying seriously. My prayers are with Next family, friends, and all who love them, and to all LGBTQI plus Americans for whom this tragedy feels so personal. Know this, I will always have you back. At the end of the day, people need to start just, hey, when you telling somebody the truth, then they want to call it bullying, huh? Well, that's how a lot of adults be coming at us. Like when we bring the truth out, oh, we attacking them. Oh, we bullying them. No, y'all gotta understand. Like our God is not playing. He made a lot. He made many. Many are created in this world, but the world to come, few. Cause only few gonna wake up to why we was created, why we was born, to understand what we really fighting out here. Just before JFK was assassinated, he was speaking about the awareness of the secret societies in this country, secret government. Some of these people who've been, a lot of them on government, they've been making millions of dollars, and a lot of these evil, bad people been sharing this money to the point where you don't know who owns these hospitals. You don't know who owns these public schools. You don't know who owns these churches. That's the truth. I've been out here and I've seen it with my own eyes, experienced it with my own experiences. I've seen churches out here owning government buildings out here. You guys got to remember, in school they taught us that before government, the churches were the government. So don't get it twisted out here. It's not a coincidence why there's all these churches out here on every block. And when they call, and when you know, the president closed his message by telling LGBTQ youth that they can call or text 988, the National Crisis Hotline, and dial the number 3 to talk to a counselor who has been specifically trained to support LGBTQ youth. So let's go into that word support. What does that word mean? You know what I mean? To support. Oh, they can keep doing what they're doing. There's others like, it's kind of scary. Listen, man. So that word support.
Support.
Oxford Dictionary. Bear all or part of the weight of, hold up, help, aid, assist, give a donation, contribute to. Well, there's that word support. Contribute to. They're contributing to all these suicides. What a pat on the back. It's gonna be okay. Subsidize, fund, finance, give help to, be on the side of, ally oneself with, stand behind, endorse, sanction, approve of. There's what I'm talking about. Because when I hear the word support, they're supporting it. You gotta understand that they're not opposing, the opposite. Oppose. You know what I mean? Now I want to show you the Biden administration annually is funding transgender communities once a year, every year. They're giving transgenders damn near awards for what they're doing. Meanwhile, people like us who see what's going on behind the lines. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Out there at Notre Dame. Crazy. President Joe Biden is considering spending millions of dollars to study people's gender. Come on now. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. They create monsters and then they acting like they don't know what's going on. Like this is a new discovery or something. Well, this is something new. Come on now. See what's happening? It says, look, LGBTQ philanthropy has grown to more than 129 million annually, and transgender funding has reached a record high of more than 8 million. They putting all these kids on disability and stuff. While there's people out here like us, we've been warning people about these are reprobates. These a lot of these people out here who chose to be that way are rejected of the Most High God. You know, they're putting all this power to fight for each other's rights and, to get people like us who actually know what that is. They're trying to silence and kill us. And mind you, they spend millions of dollars to push this transgender non-binary agenda, and the cost of transportation only receives a totaling of $12,295,000 annually as of 2023, while advanced gender equality and equality is $2.6 billion to advance gender equality. You gotta understand what's really going on. Basically, people trying to say there's something wrong with God's creation. No, there's something going on much deeper than what people want to see. It's not okay. It's not okay when little kids are out here getting vasectomies, got more rights over their body, and they're not even mature enough to understand what they're actually doing. Social empowerment has got out of control. These women is perfect. These men is perfect. Perfectly capable to understand what's going on out here. Way too smart to be falling for this nonsense. It's literally taking the easy route out. Okay? Taking the easy route out. Oh, a lot of these men, I can't find a girlfriend. Oh, I can't find a date. They're giving into that lower self-esteem. Okay? You ain't supposed to get. It just seems crazy, man. A lot of these men, man, they give up on women when they have one bad relationship. They think all women and all these girls are bad. Nah. Yeah, just don't let one bad relationship, ruin it for everybody else. Ruin it for yourself. There's good people out in the world, and it's when people are constantly giving up on the next one, you know. There's reasons why you hear like people pass up Superman and Superwoman every day, you know. And love is nothing, What people got the image of what love is, is fading every day when people are giving up on each other. This country used to have so much love for its citizens, you know what I mean? But now, look what's going on. Let's go into how much money they're actually funding this movement, okay? And ever since social media just started blowing up and all these social media platforms, people gotta realize that there's people out here hanging on, you know what I mean? There's people out here not giving up. There's people out here actually studying what it is. Okay, to the point where we see it for what it is. This is Ephesians 6:12 in the Bible. We wrestle with not flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. I mean, a lot of these churches out here became non-denominational, and they're just telling everybody, hey, you could do this, you could do that. But it comes down to it like this. We see it. Look at this. Biden administration pours over $100 million towards transgender research. What is there to research? You gotta understand Leviticus 18 and 22, Romans, the book of Romans, passage 1 all the way down, because they changed the Bible and they changed the truth, and according to Revelations 22 and 18, now these curses are falling upon these people. Just like we say all the time, just because their kids didn't turn out right, they want to push all this nonsense through social media like this is the right way. No. A lot of y'all have, you guys have pressed towards the future, not knowing what lies in the future. Okay? The future is when people can come together and basically understand, like, yeah, all this out here that's being pushed upon the children, upon the teenagers, this is madness. Like it says in the scriptures, children are the oppressors. How we had this little kid speaking up for millions of people, talking about global warming. I believe her last name was Gertrude or something like that. Gotta understand, global warming is not what it is. This warm weather that's been happening, the earthquakes that's been happening, it's all going back to Bible prophecy. The coming of the Messiah. The Messiah, people gonna find out he's already been here. He's been out here in these streets. He's been making these videos talking to y'all. You gotta understand, they was trying to call the Messiah gay. Now they're gonna receive that judgment upon them. All them people that was calling the Messiah gay and a homo, now they're gonna become homos. They're gonna become gay. It's a serious thing when you start calling the Son of God something that he's not. He was perfect and will ever be perfect. So just the Father's gonna be laughing at a lot of these people. All right. The Biden administration pours over $100 million towards transgender research. You got to understand that they're causing these issues that is going to overtake them like a zombie apocalypse. Okay? The suicide rate that's going to be happening to a lot of these people thinking that's right. They're filled up with that pride where they don't want to come down from that high horse. Eventually they're gonna take note to what we were saying out here. Okay? Doesn't make no sense. This country doesn't have the money to be pouring into something like that when all this information's in the Bible. What to do, what not to do. Okay. Got all these churches out here got graven images still when Bible says to tear all that down. Your body is the church. So you just gotta understand this is all taxpayer money right here. And Biden's over here spending it up like it's candy. Like like a little kid in a candy shop. Just hey, buying this, buying that, you know. US gives more than 4.1 billion in grants for LGBT and transgender. This is October 7th, 2023. So hey, you want to know why this country's so poor and why people out here slaving and breaking their backs out here? Well, hey, when the news come out, they ain't even talking about stuff like this. It's like to the point where we got to research this stuff on the internet for ourselves. Why are there so many homeless people out here? Well, I mean, it comes down to it. They giving housing to transgender and LGBT. I mean, like this is like one big college out here, giving grants and funding all out. You know what I mean? Understand that's. I mean, a lot of these people selling their souls, selling their souls. How the U.S. gender equality funding increased could actually. Well, let's see what this is. This is 2022. Oh, they're gonna make it seem like this is gonna be effective, right? 2.6 billion in 2022. Now it's almost double that in 2024. If you don't understand what's really going on, I mean, we have the answers they need, and it's when you tell them they can't be doing that if they want to get into heaven. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. They feel like we're attacking people for telling them they can't do that. And you know, it's not good for the children. It's not good for the teenagers out here. And there's some people who they understand like no, that's not how it's supposed to be. You don't see two dogs out here. You don't see nature out here doing that. You know. So I don't know how they can look at this like an investment. Like this is about to be the next biggest thing. You know. So I know a lot of suicides happening to a lot of them transgenders, a lot of them gay and lesbians. A lot of suicide is coming with that decision they're choosing to make, and what they're fighting for is it's ultimately they're gonna have that spirit of depression on them for the rest of their lives, to the point where they're gonna drink themselves to death. They're gonna be hooked on drugs to the point of death. A lot of these people are gonna be jumping from buildings. They're gonna be wrecking their cars. And if they can, they're gonna try to take innocent people with them. Just like we seen what happened in the schools down south. We had a transgender walk into an elementary school, Christian Academy, and performed a mass shooting. They're ticking bombs, ready to blow up. And some of these churches know what's going on too. Whether they be Christian, Muslims, or whatever. They know that that's not the right. They know that that's not right. And a country that claims to trust in God on every piece of currency that they print, I mean, it looks like they're trusting in the people. Okay, and look what the people have been doing. I mean, if they had the choice, they wouldn't have a constitution. A lot of these people. So you gotta remember what the scriptures say about they should bring forth monstrous beasts. I mean, women shall bring forth monsters. Okay. People looking at us like monsters out here. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, it's wild. There's a reason why the Messiah didn't have children, and you're starting to see why. All right, either because it got so bad out here, where everybody's fighting against everybody. You know, he says he's not sending peace, but he's sending the sword and division. Well, right now we're seeing the division. We're seeing the sword. Every time suicide happens, that's the spiritual sword. Let me bring up the scripture. Like, women shall bring forth monsters. Oh, it's in the Apocrypha. This is why they took this book out, and you won't find it in your Bible. Second Exodus 5 and 8. And there should be a confusion also in many places, and the fire should be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And the scriptures tell us to beware of these men like women, because you gotta understand, that's not normal. That's abnormal. That's why we try to tell women get in a dress, because you gotta understand there's something going on to. I mean, it's everywhere now. It's eventually you're gonna wake up to something strange going on. Okay. The only, I mean, the only men that had long hair in the Bible were Nazarites and the Messiah. He was a Nazarite from birth, so it was a great sin for him to cut his hair. And when these people lean upon their own understanding, not knowing what it's really talking about, you gotta understand what Isaiah 4 says: 7 women shall take hold of one man. And Isaiah 13 and 12, he's gonna make a man more precious than fine gold. And I believe it's gonna be because of the wisdom and the knowledge that he possesses. The seriousness that we took this out here. A lot of these men out here with long hair, they're not Nazarites, all right? They're not Nazarites at all. Understand that, hey, I'd rather have Trump in office, because then it'd get this country at least talking about the Bible again, man. We wouldn't be so censored when it comes to speaking this truth. But with having Biden in the office, we've seen how worse it's gotten out here. Suicide rates have gone up. Minimum wage hasn't gone up, but they're spending all this money of taxpayer dollars. We've gone to war with Russia in the amount of time that he's been in office. And then you find out there's so much that they're keeping from the public and from the country. We just understand that, hey, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. We just glad we're not gonna be here forever. Okay, heaven is a real place, but not everybody's coming with us. Not everybody loved what we was doing out here. Not everybody was truly listening. They hear us, but they're not listening. Okay. Just got stopped by a guy who was working. He said, over my years, I've watched millions of dollars slip through my hands. And he recognized me for holding this sign outside on the street Proverbs 13:7. There's that maketh himself rich yet hath nothing. There's that maketh himself poor yet hath great riches. So when people see us and they just treat us like bums and like, oh, that's just a homeless person. Don't pay him no mind. You gotta understand the Messiah he became poor. 2 Corinthians 8 verse 9. He became poor that people might be rich in wisdom. Revelations 2:9, 3:9. I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. You're going to find out a lot of these people writing these books and writing these stories and writing the headlines in these newspapers and broadcasting the news. These people don't have an ounce of wisdom in them. Because the Most High God, he's made the wisdom of this world foolishness. Look at this. Let's go back into it. Let's go back into it. Transgender funding. You know, that's not his money. It's not his money. And that's what's so powerful about this is because a lot of these presidents, when they get into office, they just start spending billions, if not trillions of dollars on things that should not be invested in. You gotta understand, before JFK, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated, he was talking about it's not a conspiracy, these secret governments and these secret societies. He exposed this back in 1963. And he was talking about basically demonic forces and aliens, and you know why were they so interested in the moon race? You know, everybody getting to the moon. Just come down to it. Look, they poured billions of dollars into transgender research when there ain't nothing to research. Y'all out here trying to make your own. Y'all trying to be like God. Just like that how you got avatars and stuff. People go, oh, you could just say, you could pick if you want to be a boy or a girl or not. Oh, you know what I mean? This don't sound madness. Like, no, the Most High God, Yahweh, he created you to be who you are for a reason. You know? I love being a man. There's just certain things, you know, a man can't be a man without women, and that's why women was created, man was created. You know, it goes all the way back to the Garden of Eden. There's a lot of these people out here claiming to be presidents and protectors of the country, but they're performing terrorist, extremist acts upon the masses of people, and they need to be thrown in jail. Okay. Just like Russia just deemed the LGBTQ movement to be extremists and terrorism. And I completely agree with it. Have you seen what some of these gay people be doing to straight people? They be bullying us when we all by ourselves. When we surrounded by nothing but them. They be bullying us. So at the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for these people out here that's committing suicide. I don't feel sorry for them at all. Don't feel sorry for them at all. They supposed to be all love, but the love that they project upon people that is not gay, that's not love, man. Y'all straight are a ticking bomb waiting to explode. And I'm not trying to be around it when it does. And I pray that Nobody innocent is around them when it does. Look at this. This is straight off the White House page right here. Biden and Harris administration advances equality and visibility for transgender Americans. Recognizes Transgender Day of Visibility. The only thing people need to bring into visibility is that it is wrong. You got all these kids out here just hopping up and not ashamed to be this, to be that. A woman saying no to a man who was created for them, and a man to say no to a woman that was created for them to save each other, because that's the only reason why you see man and women out here. They were put here to save each other from what's really going on. Every American deserves the freedom to be themselves. This is what he says. But far too many transgender Americans still face systemic barriers, discrimination, and acts of violence. Today, the administration once again condemns the proliferation of dangerous anti-transgender legislative attacks that may have been introduced and passed in state legislatures around the country. You gotta understand, they're attacking the Constitution, man. They're attacking straight people's constitutional, the First Amendment, the right of free speech, the right of religion. While they was trying to impeach Trump, man, who was behind that movement? At least, I mean, Trump's got eyes to see. Okay. Before we know it. Just like you gotta understand, like the history of the Native Americans. These same people done wiped out. I mean, I think it's like 20 million Native Americans, and now, hey, they're building up and just taking this land as their own. And still trying to erase history when this country's cursed right now. It's very cursed right now. It's being ran like a prison instead of a country. They just wanna, they wanna keep talking about slavery, but they wanna miss the fact that we are the true Jews of the Bible. A lot of us true Jews out here fighting for survival. So hey, when these curses overtake these people, we ain't about to be crying for them, because we looked at this life as a blessing, even in the curses. Because if these curses didn't overtake us, we wouldn't have known who we are. Y'all wanna cover up, this is a new form of racism. It's no new thing under the sun, y'all. Okay? And it's sad that this is what this country's come to. You're fighting over things that you giving power and light to things that shouldn't be in the light in the first place. There's no reason why $4.1 billion should be going to the research what they're researching. Why don't they put the same amount of effort and energy into slavery and everything that's been looked over and placed in the basement? The evidence is clear that these types of bills stigmatize and worsen the well-being and mental health of transgender kids. I mean, they need to, yeah, yeah, y'all brainwashing people all over again. Y'all got people out here, you know, at the end of the day, people gonna be ashamed of doing what they doing, man. These bills, un-American, it's harassment. Y'all harassing the country with this nonsense. They want to say transgender people are some of the bravest people in our nation. Come on now. Come on now. You don't see them over there fighting wars. You do not see transgender people over there fighting wars. Let's be honest. A lot of men are dying right now, fighting for this country, but this country want to argue and give light to wickedness and a demonic movement. That's what it. That's what it literally is. Giving them security and whatnot. You know what I mean? This was on the White House's page right here in 2022. Ain't nothing brave about being a transgender. Ain't nothing brave about that. Basically grooming children. You understand what I'm talking about? They're grooming children and single parent households for this movement. The president is calling for restoration of full child tax credit and acted an American Rescue Plan. And the American Rescue Plan, which cut child poverty in half in 2021, the lowest level in history. See, they acting like they breaking history records, but how is that? What they're doing is they're bringing the country into a state of zombie. Well, how can I word this? Treat us like cattle already. You know, go to school, go to college. A lot of these college students come out getting McDonald's jobs, Taco Bell jobs, working at Burger King. Okay, a lot of it is a false hope. They find out they go to college to learn more lies that have been passed down over time. Unless you're in the medical field, and then you wake up, hey, a lot of people in the medical field waking up to what's really going on. A lot of these nurses out here just implemented, I mean, death in the needle to millions and millions of Americans. They're implementing fear, and they're using the media, social media platforms to do it. We just had so many people get spammed and targeted through the $6,400 subsidy for food and groceries and household utilities to come to find out, that's not even real. And if it is, it's a straight scam in some states, but it's for real in other states. You gotta understand that there's so much targeting going on. It's not even funny. We'll, we'll cut child poverty in half in 2021 to the lowest level in history. The budget would expand the credit from 2,000 per child to 3,000 per child for children 6 years old and above, and to 3,600 per child for children under 6. The budget would also permanently reform the credit to make it fully refundable. Treating these households like a business. A tax credit, huh? Something you can write off on your taxes, right? The budget would also permanently reform the credit to make it fully refundable. The president also calls on the Congress to make the earned income tax credit expansion for childless workers permanent, which would help pull low-paid workers out of poverty. Low-paid workers. I mean, you know how long we've been underpaid. You know how to the point where people can't get jobs because they're so drained and disabled and literally broken from the system. Where all we got to do is to speak up now. They're creating poverty. They're creating homelessness. Okay. Too many families across America not to access high quality, affordable child care, preventing parents from working and holding back on the entire economy. The president's budget enables states to increase child care options for more than 16 million young children and lower costs of that and lower costs so that parents can afford to send their children to high quality child care. The budget also funds the federal state partnership that provides high quality universal free preschool to support healthy child development and to ensure children enter kindergarten ready to succeed. Very scary stuff. Very scary stuff. Calls for paid sick leave for all workers. Look at this. Each year to all workers and ensure that employers cannot penalize workers for taking time off to address the health needs of their families, or to seek safety from domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, or stalking. So understand, they're gonna look at a lot of us speaking up against the truth. You know, a lot of us are stalked by these people who've been watching our videos, who've been targeting us. Okay, and we nope, we're gonna literally, our knowledge is your knowledge and your sanity of what's going on is gonna be your salvation in all of this. Because who's really stalking who out here? It's so hard to find, to the point where no, it's damn near nope. We don't need to be in a relationship that bad where we gotta stalk people. We gotta watch their every move. Nah, you don't wanna be in something real, but you wanna follow all these dudes that's been stalking you for years and years, try to get at you. Nah, this is just gonna good minutes is gonna, you know, They're gonna put their faith in the Most High, and if these women don't see us for what we really are and what we really doing out here, but they wanna lean upon their own understanding of what it means to put down your life for people. You know, they don't need to be around you. Okay, it comes to the point where you understand, like, there's people out here losing their lives out here. Okay, there's people out here literally setting people up to the point where we actually see what's going on. Okay, I've already got the video. I expose women out here stalking me, recording me, trying to hunt me down. You know what I mean? And it's all because, hey, we refuse to be in any fake relationship. We don't need to be in a possessed relationship. That is not love. Okay? And a house built without love that's not a house. A country built without love is not a country. A world, not, this world was, you know what I mean? It's being separated. There's love versus the love that they claim was love, but it's not love at all. Okay? The image of what love really is when our only creator sent down his son to die for us. And when he comes back one last time, I mean, y'all either gonna get with him or get left behind. And it's just what it is. That's why in the scriptures he says, where I go, you cannot come with me. Because, hey, a lot of them people he was talking to, those were the exact people out there trying to hunt down the prophets, killed and slung and crucified the prophets, you know, not understanding what our true purpose and our creation was for. So we wasn't, the Messiah did not come here to be a president. He did not come here to be a governor. He did not come here to be a teacher in these schools, but a teacher of the world, to teach people how it's really supposed to be when you really put your life down. So just look at all this, all right? And you make a decision, okay? We ain't supposed to be following man so quickly out here. You ain't supposed to be following flesh out here like people is doing, okay? There's men out here being stalked. There's men out here being sexually assaulted. But you won't ever hear these stories. You know what I mean? There's men out here being verbally abused. You know what I mean? It's not all women. It's to the point where, hey, no, these cases and these stories are coming out. These stories are coming out, and they can't stop it. They cannot stop it. But they're pouring billions of dollars into to keep people oppressed. And it's sad. It is sad. Because you got to think of all these kids that is just, there's so much information out here. It's almost overwhelming. So, nope. Just a lot of these young ones, they deserve they deserve the truth. Okay. Biden-Harris administration awards 5.1 million in support of LGBTQI youth and families. A lot of these people, they selling their souls, And these parents are selling their souls too by backing their children into this demonic witchcraft. And that's exactly what it is. But they're receiving awards for this thing. They didn't get the award from God. you know, they got the award from. Uh, they got awards from devils, man. Just like you had Usher come out after the Super Bowl, and he's like, I want to thank the devil for this amazing award, or something like that. You know, there's these kids out here. You gotta understand a lot of these some of these people, you gotta understand what it really be. A lot of these kids turned into spies. A lot of these people out here turned into spies, and you know, while we out here, I don't know, we're citizens of our own countries, but we're being deemed and treated like spies, and you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, people got a problem with hearing the truth, you know? Counseling and support remember that word, support, for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex youth and their families. The health of our nation begins with the wellness of our youth. Every young American must receive inadequate behavioral health support regardless of their gender, identity, or sexual orientation, says HHS Secretary Xavier. And remember, a secretary's job that's a female job. So for Xavier, he probably, you know what I mean? These people out here passing these bills and behind supporting all this, they transgender, they queer themselves, man. No, we no, man. We just understand they look, major depressive episodes. Look at this. The report indicates that lesbian, gay, and bisexual adults are more likely than straight adults to use substances, experience mental health conditions, including major depressive episodes, and experience serious thoughts of suicide. It's real.